Have you ever wanted to do something like go to the gym more, learn a new skill, or maybe post more YouTube videos, but when it came down to it, you just didn't feel like it? Maybe initially you had this spark, this excitement, this inspiration, this motivation about doing that thing, and then it eventually just kind of wore off. Well, you're not alone.
Coming up next to the mic, Nate Cole!
At the beginning of every year, millions of people get motivated, get excited, and decide that this is my year. This is the day I get my life together. And they start what we call a New Year's resolution. But by the second week in February, research shows that 80% of those people will no longer be following through on their New Year's resolutions. And by the end of the year, 1/4 of those people will actually forget that they even had a goal to begin with for the year. That's why I'm here to say that motivation is overrated. I know this might be really hard for someone to hear, especially like me, like 6 months ago. Like, motivation is everything to me, right? Zig Ziglar, motivation is like taking a bath. You need one every single day, all these things, but it's not the one thing that you need to be successful. How many people get motivated and then never actually become successful? We tend to think of taking action as a very linear process. I have certain thoughts, which lead me to have certain feelings, which then lead me to have certain actions. And while this is like a great foundational place to begin, it's not fully true. It actually misses a very important part where it's not just a linear process from 1, 2, 3, but it's more like a cycle that can start at any stage. So if we actually take action before we even get the feeling, we can actually get a feeling from the action without even having the feeling. So what is this thing of taking action even when we don't have the feeling? There's a word for it, and it's actually called discipline. John Maxwell, the world-renowned leadership author and speaker, says one of my favorite quotes about this topic. Motivation gets you going, but discipline keeps you growing. To add even more support from one of my favorite actors and an inspirational figure for me, Will Smith, also says the following: self-discipline is the center of all material success. You cannot win the war against the world if you cannot win the war against your own mind. Now we understand that instead of just motivation, we actually need discipline. But what type of discipline? I'm gonna quote Gary Keller, author of The One Thing, by saying, we don't need just any discipline, we need selected discipline. This means rather than trying to become a discipline guru overnight and F all the feelings that you have, focus on picking one habit that you're looking to improve and use all of your discipline to get that habit formed. And once you actually have that habit formed, you will actually be able to lower the amount of discipline that you need going towards that habit. Gary Keller summarizes this very well in his book when he said, once the habit is established, it requires much less discipline to maintain and can be reallocated to create the next good habit. So if we want to be successful in the long term, motivation is not enough. It is overrated. But what we really need is selected discipline and the discipline to show up for things even when we don't feel like it. I hope this helps, guys. Just sharing some of the things that I'm learning along my journey, and anything that can be useful to you guys. I share things on music, mindset, and lifestyle. So if those things sound great to you, please feel free to give this video a thumbs up so we can reach more people, and also subscribe to the channel if this is your first time hanging out with us. So until next video, I hope you stay inspired, keep learning, keep growing, and I'll hope to see you soon.